Hello violin players, welcome to Pro Arm Strings. I'm Henriette and in this lesson today we are practicing exercise 102 on page 31 and we're slurring 3 notes to a bow this time. So as you can see, I have split my bow into 3 equal parts and each of those parts is for each of the notes on the slur, and it's very helpful, I think, in the early stages of slurring 3 notes to have the visual aspect there as well to help you distribute the bow evenly. So let's play the first measure, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Now take a look at your second measure. Stay right at the point with your bow here and off we go. Look at your music first and then look at your bow as you play. 1, 2, 3. Carry on. So you have noticed that my bow is moving along as if nothing is happening to my left hand. So if I weren't able to hear the difference in notes or see your left hand, I would not notice looking at the bow where your 3 notes are. So you want to avoid jerking the bow and slowing it down every time you put a finger on. So your aim is to keep the bow flowing, and that's what we're practicing when we're playing the second line. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. So making your bow flow is the first thing that you think about. If that is already flowing really nicely, you can focus on tapping the finger on as we've practiced when you were playing 2-note slurs. So you can go. But you'll notice that if your tapping of your left hand has an effect on how smooth the bow is, then you need to stop tapping your left hand finger and focus on the bow first until the 2 start to work independently, and then you're good to go and play with picking up your fingers really high. Now the function of the tapping on the strings, as we've discussed before, is that you define every note really carefully and that you articulate your music beautifully. Since this music is slurred in the first place, which indicates that it needs to be played smoothly, that is our first priority. So when we play the second line, I'll assume that you'll be super smooth on your bow. And now I'd like you to move your finger up and down with a little bit more speed. So you're going like that rather than very gently putting it down, and you get that definition in your playing. 1, 2, 3. Awesome practice, and you really develop your technique when you Focus on one thing at a time. Super playing. Do I need to tell you about Henriette's Violin Club again? If you are not already a member, have a look at the video that pops up in your screen right now. And I look forward to welcoming you personally to Henriette's Violin Club very soon. Goodbye.